let's do this so that I can start packing and you can do everything else with your day.
Yeah, mine's called Eat Dinner.
Yeah. All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Granblue Radio. This is episode number. Oh God, I didn't have that number up. I incremented by one and didn't think about it. One moment.
329.
329.
That's what's according to what's on your stream title.
Thank you. um, so we just started the sauna event. Well,
I need
and
to read through that.
oh, it's actually a fun one. Well, they have a little point to it that we'll mention a little bit. But uh, the previous sauna event really did well. This one did well. The only thing missing, according to many people, including myself, is Delaford getting an SSR, which he didn't get today.
Again.
Yeah, he didn't get it today. He didn't get it last time, but there's always Flash in the middle of July. That's when we got Ingve, basically, isn't it? I think. Let's see, 2022 July. We got Shion and Mirin. Oh wait, no, that's because it was July.
I thought Ingve was part of the thing.
Hold on, 2260.
Because it was
Summer
like.
Vicky, Summer Vajra. Oh, that's because I'm looking at 2022. The event was 2021. Haha!
Right.
Time is an illusion.
Well, considering that, for a good many years we were stuck inside.
Yeah, so it was Sig and Ilnot who were the mid-July one. Oofed. We'll see. We'll see.
I forgot Sig exists.
Summer Sig? Summer Sig, yeah, he had a niche use and then he stopped being useful. All right, but anyway, so we've got two new characters to talk about today, along with the just little bits and pieces. Before we have choreograph for July tomorrow. We have AX where I will be there with Henry to talk about just Cygames in America stuff. We're going to be talking about Rising and Relink and all that. We also have news about Rising versus Rising, which is that the beta now has a date in July. DJ, I'm going to ask you for a lot of information because I will be at Final Fantasy Fest at the time.
Yeah, good luck with that.
And the thing is that I will technically be available on the last day, but I'm not bringing my PlayStation 5 to Las Vegas. Hell no.
Bring a PS4 then.
My PS4 is currently at a friend's house and it's just staying there. They wanted to play Stray, so I'm like, here, have a PS4. It's not like I'm using it. I have a PS5. But anyway, all right. Way off topic. That was my fault. Let's get to these new characters. So, Pholia, who has been lost to time and space for 5-6 years, basically.
Literally, you only see all her in Granblues.
Yeah. But here she is. She has a Yukata version. This is her first alt. This is her first appearance in a story in 7 years, basically. Since her disappearance from main story, where she specifically says, "I'm going away for a while."
When you do commit war crimes.
We've got a lot of war crimes now. It's like, oh, I hear that there's space for more war crimes on this ship. So here we are.
Is her sister here with her? I haven't read the story yet.
I actually don't know who's in the background of her art. I did not see. I had to squint, and I still don't actually know. So.
Oh,
all right.
I do want to say we have seen Uchida Maya at an event recently though for Granblue.
Did we?
Yeah, we did.
Was she at Fest?
Let me go look it up
now. Yeah, Brad says, "Yo, you could probably find a PS5 in Las Vegas somewhere." Yeah. True.
Your last tweet, 1/16/2023. Has her on stage.
Oh. She did go on stage at Fest, didn't she? I totally forgot.
Yeah, her very first Granblue event.
Yeah. All right. So anyway, so we found out part of the reason why she's
6 months later.
Yeah, 5 months later. All right, so actually it is 6. Anyway, let's go take a look. So Pholia, she fell out of the game for a while, but she used to be one of the characters to turbocharge a single character. Now there are way more characters to do that.
And you also just turbocharge more than one person nowadays.
Mm-hmm. Um, well, there's still like Korwa found a place, and she is a single character turbocharge, although she
Yeah,
does
but
have
her
the
her,
double
her buff
strike
is kind
button.
of broken, so
So let's take a look at what Folia does. And like you haven't had the chance to use her yet. You're the expert on Cupitan, so I will be yielding this all to you. But a lot of this is stuff that we're familiar with, but now it's been expanded. Like this is very comparable to her limited water version, but there's a bunch of new added stuff for like certain Earth themes that have been going around. So um, the first thing that I'm going to point out is there's a couple of things that say turn 10 or later. There's 3 things officially. So we're going to start with that. White Raiment. So this is her buff from her water version, basically, where it's like the feature of this one is cap up over here. The rest of it is, the defense up is of course welcome. The attack up is most likely on perpetuity. It's all unremovable. Uh, but it's a very long cooldown for a while, and you have to keep CAing in order to extend it so that it becomes permanent on one person. So
and then it's to herself.
yeah, and then from turn 10, then it affects everybody, and everybody gets cap up from turn 10 on, and it like very often renews itself to be permanent. So that's one. Then she has a button that says fill a charge diamond in order to get 30% meter to everybody, and you get CA specs. Very similar to, say, Secret Triad on Mana Diver, or like all the vampire things that do that, or Tsubasa, and Show. So anyway, but turn 10 onward, instead of filling a charge diamond, it slows them. So instead of giving a drawback, it just turns into all upside. And then the last thing that cares about turn 10 or
Which is funny
onward.
because in full auto this thing will not activate on until like turn 14 or
What do
turn
you mean?
15.
What do you mean by that? Oh, the past turn 10 part.
Yes.
Um, turn 13 or so, yeah, I would say, because you do get a. The last thing is turn 10 or later, one turn cut to all of Folia skill cooldowns when she charge attacks. And so, you get turn 1, turn 8, and then you start CAing on turn 10, and then, yeah, turn 12 or 13 or so, you get this up again. Um, so that's part that people will just go, there's only a few fights that go past turn 10. It's like Diaspora, Super Bahamut, and Nightmare 200. Looks like, okay. We then look to the rest of this. Um, Here's her turn 1, which is, hey everybody, have triple attack, and assassin on this debuff that also says charge diamonds don't fill up and you can't use special attacks. So she gives like the Twilight Terror like
Is it everybody? I think just herself.
for the triple attacks.
Yeah,
Okay, so it's the
because it's on a different line than
let me
Earth
look. Let me
Allies.
look at the Japanese description of this one to make sure. Folia
This is what happens when it's
action
literally an
one
hour ago.
Kanarazu triple attack. Uh, It is in the same line in the description. So, in the full description, so this is to all allies get
The
um,
triple attack. Okay.
the yeah. It's part of the same thing. It's separated only by a comma and not by a line. So everybody triple attacks. So that's a cool thing on turn 1. It is one hit specifically and not one
One turn.
turn.
We,
So
we
it
know what
doesn't.
happens when it becomes one turn.
Yeah, you get tag team stupidity or relic buster stupidity. This one, lasting only one turn, means that on full auto, you might want to turn off your red skills. But anyway. And then the other parts of this package are she always has Revitalize on herself, and she has a chance to remove a debuff from herself at the start of the turn. Um, and so that's a very, very like long fight thing here. And the
Chaser
last,
on CA is pretty nice.
yeah, and the last part is she gives Chaser to the entire team on CA, which once this thing finally cools down again after like 14 turns or something like that, then let's see. So it starts at 20 turn cooldown,
It's
then
18 odd
goes to
plus.
18, then yeah, it'll be back on turn like 14 or 15, if unless you do some sort of Keelan thing.
Yeah, you want her for long fights. She's also a melee character, so she actually goes well with other melee characters in the first place
Hmm.
because they're just going to be wanting to hit a lot in the first place.
Yeah,
Giving them a chaser is not bad.
yeah, like Fiorito or Pengi. Well, as long as Pengi's alive. Pengi is not a long fight character. She will just die and give way to the actual long fight fist character, who's Lobelia. Oh yeah, that's right. We always have to consider that Earth is the element that has Lobelia in it, so you can mentally cross off like 3 of these turns for a lot of these.
Yeah, thanks. He'll eventually get his update, and I don't know what they would do with it. But he already cuts turns, so that's pretty good.
Well, they will not cut this. They will not do anything to the skills. They will give him a fourth skill, and they will update his passives, basically. So that part will not change unless they do a rebalance at the same time. But anyway, yeah, uh, this is pretty cool. I wonder how much we will see of her in July Unite and Fight. Like this first part is nice for stabilizing the first few turns, and then like in the long game, then your entire team gets cap up and defense up, and she doesn't do anything about debuffs to your team, so you'll want someone else to deal with that. But
Seder resist.
yeah.
Like that's the go-to.
Satyr exists, but she doesn't necessarily work very well as Satyr because Satyr doesn't attack, which means that she doesn't benefit from a lot of Pholia's
Yeah,
stuff.
but Seder gives Pholia a beater.
That's true. Satyr works with her. She doesn't necessarily work with Satyr. It'll be interesting to see. Um, I am not really enough of an expert on Pholia anymore. I just know that the old Pholia fell off because there's characters like Erica who also basically outdo Pholia's buff, but as a non-limited character. All right,
I mean,
Any,
Erica also came out way later
this is true as
in,
well.
in more modern Granblue things.
Yep. Erica and Korwa right now are the turbochargers of choice in water, and that's even before you get to like limited holiday Cal and stuff like that. Sorry, I'm just looking at the I'm looking at her CA animation and it's hilarious. I adore that. Anyway, all right, DJ, on to the star of the day for you specifically. It's Cupitan.
Uh, Cupitan's cool. We're gonna be restrained. So what happens here is that you have to look at her entire kit. You first start off with actually Pesky by the sea at the very bottom.
Okay,
So she is
fish by
actually
the
a
sea.
character who cannot gain meter from normal attacks, but she doesn't triple attack. Instead, she can activate her skill one during CAs and normal attacks. Uh, this is a chance. It increases up to 100% apparently because I have not seen it miss.
Yeah. So the number should be what 7 or 8 or something like that. Let's take a look at what the blog says. It just says that Kupitan has a lot of it puts out a lot of debuffs, so that will raise the accuracy of this. It's like, yeah, they're not going to say it's 100%, I guess. All right, fair enough.
It's probably 7. Everything around her revolves around 7,
Truth, rainbow theming and all. All right.
except for Alexander's band. That's a 5.
Hmm,
It's a
there it is.
it's a one time debuff on the enemy.
Oh, so
Short fight.
it's the summer illnot. Okay.
Yeah, short fight really fast, and the fact that it gives up mental damage on a character who has many hits, really good.
Hmm.
We're gonna actually follow that up with the fact that she gets no meter. How she get meter? Well, there's two ways. A, everybody else seeing around her or giving her meter. B is skill 2, Supreme Devotion. By the way, this is a one-turn cooldown later
Wait,
at
what?
plus. At
Oh, it
plus,
can
it's a
only
one-turn
use.
cooldown.
Oh, it's only used with. Requires max arrows. Okay,
You need maximum
so
arrows.
she can do it at turn 1 because she starts with all 7.
Yeah, she starts with all 7, and also, if you look at Maritime Maiden, she also does it if a Dark Ally does a debuff skill.
So she has 1, but it's asking for someone like Halmal or something like that.
Halmal is really good because Halmal refreshes theirs on CA.
Hmm.
The thing is that Tubon has 1. She's going to use it in full auto at her when she already has full meter.
Right.
Yeah, I mean full arrows. That's not bad. You can actually get away with just doing early CAs anyways with this
Hmm.
character. You don't need to do the CA reactivates because when she CAs with the reactivate, she spends all her arrows, gets 1 more arrow, and then CAs again, and then does that uses that arrow again.
Okay. That's right.
So everything is pretty much most of her damage is going to revolve around marine drops. Literally on attack, do 7 hit nuke, stackable dark defense, and
Hmm.
corrosion. Corrosion's pretty good.
Yeah, it lowers debuff resistance. That's one of the secret good ones to get when you're playing as Fior.
Yeah, so I did a test run against what's his face,
The Ennead? Metatron?
Metatron.
Ah, okay.
Uh, when I switched it over to be not being Kengo instead being Chaos Ruler, it was faster because of her.
Makes sense. Chaos Ruler does a lot of like supplemental stuff now.
Oh, it was not even that. I just casted more blue skills.
Oh, this is also true.
Yeah, when you make her CA early, you'll never hit skill 2,
Hmm.
and because your CA uses all your arrows,
Hmm.
and yeah, that's pretty much what happens. So it's just actually better to just let her CA get meter from skill 2 instead.
Okay. So, the other thing that I was looking at is, all right, so Tropico Velos, the list of debuffs, because it doesn't have a tooltip for CAs. So, correct me if I'm wrong on this, but one of them is Toxicosis.
That sounds right, I think.
Okay,
I
but
did,
it's
I would I can't check
yeah,
my logs.
and it's burned and not singed. So, she doesn't
There's
raise
local
singe level.
charm in there. There's a
Is it
delay in
local?
there actually.
Is there? Let me take a look at what the blog says. So it's just gravity, not delay.
Is it gravity? Okay, that
Yeah.
makes more sense.
So it's burn, charm, accuracy down, special attack damage down, toxicosis, gravity, and petrify are the listed
That's
options.
what was missing all the time then.
Petrify missing all the time? Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense. But yeah, so
And then
that's it. That's like
you have a bunch of debuffs on them, and now she'll always pretty much skill ones every turn.
so
Fills
in
up the arrows.
In terms of skill damage friends, it's just like so. There's Manamel. Manamel's actually been getting a lot of use in like Unite and Fight and in like Cosmos, just for hit counts and debuff counts and things like that. Manamel also comes in with the baked-in drawback of like, all right, sometimes she will cease to be a character, so you need to have her in fourth position and be ready to death her so that she wakes back up and turns into a character again. Cupitan doesn't have that drawback.
I
Has
mean, her
like
drawback is no meter.
Yeah, she has all of these hits and debuffs to make up for it. And then the thing that separates her from like Summer Magisa, who's also a hit count, skill count queen, is that Kupitan doesn't dispel, but she does everything else instead.
I do not trust Mugs's D spell ever
Yeah,
because he needed after seeing
true.
or holding off on using any of your skills, and I'm like, you know.
Yeah, this is true. This is true.
What that character does do is actually give you buffs.
Hmm. And so yeah, I mean this is a spot where she can fit in. And it's just like to be Summer Tabina was sort of a candidate because she also did the whole like debuff and hit count after attacking thing. But Tabina's more like dodge focused, and the debuffing was kind of like a side thing. So
Well, at least the beta, you can actually spend your like choose when to spend your resources if needed.
true,
And also, she gave supplemental to the party.
also true. And I think
It,
it was like I
the dodge
remember
was
that
just nice.
I remember that it was something that I got wrong in a previous episode where I was just like, doesn't she give you uplift? It's like, no, she gives you meter if she dodges. It's like there's a difference unless she's dodging every turn, which is possible with some very very hard stretching of the rules of Granblue Fantasy. But anyway, so cool character. I wonder what's coming next this summer.
That's a very good question.
Because it's like some of us were hoping that there would be and by some of us I mean certain horny people in our crew were just like, please, please let one of them be an Earth skill damage character. It's like, well, turns out we got an Earth buffer and like long fight queen instead. Still cool.
Like I don't care about Earth. So
All right. Um,
Earth already has like
what it
so many
needs.
tools.
Hmm. So the last thing I was going to just mention today, you haven't read the story yet, so we'll hold off on it. Um, I think it is pretty funny that the story of this event takes place at Unite in Sauna, which is like a thinly veiled reference to trying to fix up Unite and Fight in Granblue Fantasy. And it's just like, well, there's a bunch of old people who sit around and are like, this is how you do things, and if you don't do it, get out. And it's like, we gotta try and not make them angry at us while actually modernizing things. And it's like, oh, I see where side games are trying to put themselves in this, and it's like, well, they're actually also trying to put themselves in as part of the people who are the part of the problem and need to change the way they're thinking. It's like,
That's very
interesting
good.
message. Interesting message. The the quote unquote twist at the end, when Delaford has another client. I think you'll enjoy that one. But anyway, so that's it for this week. Tomorrow I will be on the road going to AX. I promise to um, be around when Corrigra drops. It should be at 8 o'clock tomorrow, for our time at least. But until then, I will be at AX. We'll hear from like not Kiamar's not going to be there. Fukuhara is the one who's going to be there, and we'll find out more about Relink hopefully. Till
Yeah, it's
then,
Fukuhara and the director for Relink, right? Who's there?
yes. And then after that is Evo, where we'll have like Okubo and such. Hopefully Okubo at least. We'll have the Rising tournament and like free play at least. So anyway, that's it. So thank you everybody. Thank you DJ.
Hmm.
We we are going to be back next week. We'll talk about Choreogra. We'll talk about I don't know what else we'll talk about. We'll find out. Thanks
All right,
DJ.
later.
Later guys.